Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, and welcome back to another video. Something completely different today. I put out on my community tab, my community posts, asking for questions to do a quick Q&A. I've had plenty of new subscribers over the last few weeks, and I just thought, what a better way to introduce myself to all those new people, and maybe those people that are watching and not subscribed yet, to kind of just get to know me a little bit better. So kind of give free will to anybody that asks questions. And I got a few. I got a few of one person. Thank you, Stephanie. And I'm just going to answer them all because why not? It's what I'm here for. It's currently 3:15. On Friday the 2nd of May, so you'll actually see this some point over the weekend. I'm up because I'm doing my job, which happens on an election night. That gives you kind of the realm that I work in, other than working at the CAF, owning the CAF, that type of thing. So, without further ado, first question came in was from my good friend, Mr. Buddy Biggs Adventures, all the way from the US, who says, what is your favourite recipe that you cook? Now, I had to think kind of long and hard about this one because there's just so many that I really enjoy. But I was kind of to and thrown between one and two, and I just thought, you know what? Pick one. Be decisive and just pick one. So I've picked my cheesy chicken and bacon tagliatelle. Love to make my own different sauces. This one I make a lovely garlic cheesy sauce, white sauce, chopped bacon in there, chicken breast, dice it up. And yeah, just add it to tagliatelle, mix well, it's perfect. Doesn't really need much more than that. Bit of Italian seasoning if you want, and then just top it with a little bit of Parmesan, Parmigiano Reggiano. So yeah, that's probably my favourite dish to cook, mainly because it's easy. You've kind of got the element that it's pasta. Pasta's already made. The sauce, just because I like experimenting with different sauces, basically, that I like to cook. So yeah, moving on to the next one. It's Nikki in a vlog. Hi, Nikki. Who says, what famous people, dead or alive, would you have at your dinner party? And, I mean, other than being quite a boring person, really. I don't really look up to too many famous people, but I have got four. Probably, yeah, two that are alive, two that are sadly no longer with us. So I'll start with the two that are no longer with us. Sean Lock, 8 out of 10 cats. Awesome Sean Lock. Comedy was kind of unmatched. The wit and humour was brilliant. And the other one is Marvin Lee Day. If you don't know who that is, Meatloaf. Grew up listening to Meatloaf kind of in a protest way because my dad was a born again Christian, and anything that wasn't Christian and abiding by the rules of all that type of thing, yeah, I'm going to hell apparently. But yeah, Meatloaf, it kind of the same time as like Tenacious D and all that came out, you know, Jack Black and all them. And then my other two that are currently still living, touch wood that they're still living by the time I put this out. Two people that are local to me, that were born local. I've got Chris Kamara, the football pundit, Cammy. He's brilliant. The stories he can tell are amazing. And then the other person is the one and only Bob Mortimer. Yep, Bob Mortimer. I was kind of to and fro, and do I want Vic? Do I want, you know, Vic and Reeves? Dove from Above, all that type of thing. Eureka Kakaka Johnson. If you haven't seen Shooting Stars, then go and look it up on Google because it's quite hilarious. So yeah, they're kind of 4 people that I would have at a dinner party. The only other person that I'd include in that, which is famous to me but not well known to other people, is probably my great granny. Why is she famous? Well, she's not famous as per se herself, but the legacy that she left behind is. She was one of the founding ladies of the modern day Meals on Wheels. So she used to take meals from staff canteen and used to take them out to elderly people and feed them and do all that type of good stuff. So yeah, she had a big part to play. She was a Labour woman, as it was. So yeah, kind of always wanting to look after the elderly and things like that. So I'd probably have her down just to reminisce and talk about the things that I enjoy now. That obviously she spent 40 years doing. So yeah, runs in the family, which is amazing because nobody runs in this family. Anyway, moving on swiftly. Next up, it's Slurpy Dave. Slurpy, from the Isle of Man. Is it the Isle of Man? Yeah, it's the Isle of Man, isn't it? You bank. Yeah. Who says your top 3 meals? So I mean, this was quite easy. I took out the recipe that I really like to cook, the tagliatelle. Took that out. Top 3 meals. Sunday roast, of course. Panacalty, which is a northeast dish. Corned beef, potatoes, all that good stuff. Just really, I could eat one of them. It's not really Slim and Well friendly, but yeah, there's just something about it. And then soup. As you know, on this channel, I love soup. I love making soup. I love eating soup. Yeah, can't get enough of the veggies, as it were. I just love experimenting with different soups. I used to have a soup business. I used to make and sell soups at farmers markets. And that's kind of what got me into the whole soup type of thing, because I used to make money out of it. So yeah, not too bad on that front. So thanks for those, Slurpee. Next up is Mr. B, home brews and beer reviews. Rob, from Bramhall, Manchester, Stockport, that type of area. I won't go too far. He doesn't like it when I keep picking up where he lives. It says, what food would you class as your guilty pleasure? And then he adds, mine has to be a lemon bun filled with fresh cream. I do like lemon buns filled with fresh cream as well. Yeah, I kind of just went anything with French patisserie cream. French fruit tarts, millefeuille, vanilla slices, things like that. Just love French cream. Or I've also put, failing that, a Yorkshire curd tart. Manchester might have the Manchester tart, but Yorkshire has got the Yorkshire curd tart, which is amazing. There's no way I can have it these days. Sin values and all that would just be through the roof. Yeah, following that, an egg custard. Who doesn't like an egg custard? Come on. So yeah, I kind of guilty pleasure, bit of cream, which is weird because I don't really have a sweet tooth, but when I really want something that just for me in that little moment. You know, you get a little bit to yourself. You think, oh, yeah. I usually have that when I go over to Spain. You walk past the little patisserie shops and they'll have the little fruit tarts or tart the fruit um, with a strawberry, blueberry, bit of kiwi, that type of thing, with a lovely syrup over the top. So yeah, that's kind of a little guilty pleasure. And then finally we come on to Stephanie. Now Stephanie asked a couple of questions. She was like, "Sorry to bombard you," that type of thing. Don't worry about it, because it's all relevant to kind of what I'm doing on YouTube today. So yeah, I'll start off with the first question, which was, what was the main reason you started your weight loss journey? So I started it back when, after I'd came out of work. I was a gravedigger for a while, and after consuming a lot of energy throughout that job, I was kind of just left sat behind a desk twiddling my thumbs, not really doing a great deal. So the weight kind of piled on a little bit. So it was like 2018. I was like, you know what, need to do something about it. And yeah, first time, which we'll actually get to. You know, just health wise. Second time round of a weight loss journey. Like many people, you know, it's not the first journey that we go on a weight loss. I mean, it's a lifelong thing, but it's a 3, 4, 5, 10 time type of thing. But I'm on my second weight loss journey as it was now. Second one, and the current one, I was given 3 years to live. Coming up 3 year in July, and it was kind of eye opening that there wasn't much they could do for me, the NHS, simply because I don't have diabetes. So a lot of the issues and treatments that I could have had a long time ago would have been dealt with had I had diabetes. Thankfully, I don't have the diabetic gene. I can't get diabetes, hence getting to my weight, and hospital and all that, being very intrigued why a person of my weight didn't have diabetes. And it was only the luck of an Indian doctor who had seen it before and was like, "We'll run some extra tests, we'll do a little bit of work," and yeah, he was just like, you don't have it. My mum has diabetes. My nana had diabetes. It's kind of looks as if it's like skipped me. Blessing and curse at this point, I think. But yeah, weight loss journey is just, I just want to be healthy. I'm not bothered about weight. I'm more bothered about being able to move about and do things independently and that type of thing. So yeah, that's the main reason. I don't have kids or anything. Don't really plan to. The world's not really ripe for that. So that is what it is. Second question of Stephanie's is, why did I choose Slimming World? So I chose Slimming World because it takes out the thought process or the overthinking, as it is. So, you know, we always keep talking about lifestyle, and it's a lifestyle change. This is your lifestyle. It's not a diet. It's, you know, it's that type of thing. And for me, it was always a case of, I want to lose the weight, to be on the diet element, but at the same time, I need to eat the correct things if I want it to be a lifestyle change, if I want it to be a total change within the diet that I eat, then I need something that's going to teach me what's the better food to eat. And there's no better one, I don't think, diet wise or even program wise, better than Slimming World, because the onus is on healthier food. I know you get all the critics that say you can have as much potato that you want, you can have as much pasta. Yeah, you can. But it also says on Slimming World that a third of your plate has to be speed food. So if you have 500 gram of pasta, you've then got to equal that out with a third of that portion being speed. You add all that together with your protein, that's a hell of a lot. If you're eating that much, you don't need a weight loss program. You need your mouth taped shut at that point. No offense, but that's just how it is. It's Slimming World, same with all of them, really. It's a tool to help you, to aid you in losing weight. I hear so many times people say, I was on there, didn't really do anything. Slimming World did nothing for me. I've now got a bad relationship with food. No, you had a bad relationship with food to start with, otherwise you wouldn't join Slimming World. Now, with that, I can go into a full thing on this, but it's kind of, without the aid of Slimming World, without the sin value, we know we can have chocolate, but the sin value is there to say, yes, you can have your chocolate. You just need to rein it in with how much. This is what we think is a manageable on a daily basis that you can have. You can have a chocolate bar, packet of crisps most days. I get 35 sins a day. You go for a Pepsi Max, it's free, 0 sins. A normal can of Pepsi is 3 sins. So that leaves me with 32 sins. A chocolate bar, 10 sins. A packet of crisps, another 8 to 10 sins. So I can have a can of Pepsi, a chocolate bar, and a packet of crisps each and every day, still be within sins. Now, I don't want to use my sins for that. I know a lot of people do like to use their sins every day up to the value, but I'm not using it, Slimming World, really, for that. I'm at the stage where I want a better relationship with food. And this kind of comes on to the next question as well, Stephanie, that you asked, which was, have you tried any other weight loss journey? Yeah, calorie counting. I've done calorie counting for quite a while. Never had the same success that I've had with Slimming World. First time around in Slimming World, I lost 6.5 stone within 7 months. And then I got ill during the pandemic. I've mentioned that a few times, so I'm not going to go into that too much. But yeah, calorie counting. The calorie deficit, eat less, move more, that type of thing. Well, that's great, but what calorie counting doesn't teach you is, that whole element of eating healthy. I see people all the time that are calorie counting and they're in Greggs or McDonald's or KFC. And there's nothing wrong with them if you want it every now and again. But I'm seeing people go there every single day. Oh, I'm just calorie counting. I'm getting my my burger, my this, that, and that. Oh, it's alright, I've got plenty of calories left over. And it's like, yeah, but you know what? That's not a good way to use your calories, basically. Not if you want to lose weight. It may be good if you want to maintain your weight loss, or kind of just your weight. But if you want to lose weight, you can't do it. You can't do it like that. Sometimes, I just think, well, if I'm calorie counting, which I do now with Slimming World, I do it together. And I do that solely just because I don't want to overeat. I'm in this little phase where I'm trying to cut down on portion size, and one of the ways to do that is just to keep an eye on my calories. So I've got the NHS calorie counting app on my phone, weight loss app, and yeah, it's great. I fill it in every day, just logging stuff. It's not like Nucheck or things like that where you can just put a product in and it'll give you all your proteins and everything. It is solely just checking on your calories. And that's what I'm doing because I want my portion sizes to be smaller and perfect. When you become a much larger person, your portion size also grows with that, because especially for me, in my mind, I was like, I need more calories for more energy, because I read online one time that it said I need 3,000 calories a day. Turns out don't need 3,000 calories a day. But obviously, sometimes you read or believe things on the internet that you shouldn't probably. But I was naive then. But yeah, I do it just for portion size. 3 meals a day. Yeah, snacks if I want them. Like I said, I can use. This is the nice thing with Slimmer World, is the same as the calorie counting. It's an aid. It's an aid to use for your weight loss, and I believe in that anyway. So, and then finally, Stephanie's asked, "What do you enjoy the most about your weight loss journey?" So from where I am now compared to 2 years ago, so officially on this round of Slim and World, because it's my second round, I've lost 2 stone 6 pound, but overall in 18 months I've lost 9 stone. So I've gone from almost being 40 stone, a couple of pounds short of 40 stone, and almost bedbound. I could walk distances, do a little bit of shopping. That would be it basically. But not being able to move a lot 18 months ago. I'm now doing a 40-minute cardio workout each day. I'm getting my minimum of 2,000 steps. I will increase that at some point. But just this week I've actually been hitting 3,000 to 4,000 steps. I know I could set that for every day, but at the minute my knees are still really bad. So, and because they hurt all the time, there'll be some days where it's going to be a lot harder. So I just keep it at 2,000 and I try and hit that regardless every day, whether or not I'm in a lot of pain. But just moving about. Before I got ill during lockdown, I was doing on average 20,000 steps a day, sometimes 22, 24,000 steps. I just loved being outdoors. I used to just get up first thing on the morning, get straight out the door, go for a walk, just perfect for my mental health. All weathers, it didn't faze me at all. And yeah, I just like to be active, which probably you don't hear a lot of fat people like me say. Oh yeah, what's one of the things you like to do? I like to be active, because usually it doesn't come across quite well, does it? But yeah, that's what I look forward to the most. Like I said, the weight, the weight on the scales, or the number on the scales. Yeah, it's a big factor, but it's not my overriding factor. I haven't set a target in group. My target is just my club 10, once I hit that, I will set another Club 10, and at the moment, I'll just keep going. So yeah, there's not really target anything like that. Really love Slimming World. All these naysayers and haters that you see all over social media, just don't listen to it, because the journey with Slimming World is a lifelong journey. You're buying into kind of like an education tuition fee, student tuitions when you go to university. It's that type of thing. You're buying into your future, and if you want to do it properly, you stay at a group, you follow it, you adapt to it, and you learn from it. Because if you just go along with it and want to have, your sing count and everything each day and not bother about stuff, there's loads of times I've heard people say, I don't like salad, and they use the sins up on like cheap pot noodles, mugshot pasta, that type of thing, because they don't want to eat any salad or veg. It's not going to work a long time. You're just failing yourself from the outset. So yeah, Slim World to me, can't fault it. It's a brilliant plan. I've lost weight on it. If you combine the two little journeys together, regardless of me putting on quite a lot of weight while I was ill, that'd be 9 stone in itself, which would be a nice little certificate to have, wouldn't it? We all like shinies in the end. The little shinies, a little certificate, it makes staying in the group and all that worthwhile. So yeah, those are the questions. It's been a long video, almost 30 minutes. But I hope you've learned a little bit more about me. If there's any more questions that people want to ask, just drop them below. I might do another one if there's enough questions. But yeah, I'm going to finish watching my election night special on the BBC, and then I'm off to group. My group is at 9 o'clock this morning, so I've tried to be good. I've snacked on orange after orange after orange after orange, because it's speed food, and normally I wouldn't eat at all or drink anything this late or early on the morning, especially before weighing. But yeah, just is what it is. Kind of good job it only happens once a year. So yeah, thank you all for joining. Hope you all have a lovely week. Hope you have fantastic losses on those scales. And remember, it's not about the number on the scales, it's how you feel in yourself. That's the main thing with losing weight. It's how you feel in yourself, not what the scale says. So, thank you all, and I will catch you all on the next one. Adios.